Ranbir Kapoor, who I think is absolutely fabulous,
Right.
would be a more than worthy successor to Aamir Khan. I've been waiting for that one elusive hit because I do know I won my national awards, I've got my critical acclaim. Jism 2 has been spoken about necessarily and unnecessarily ever since it's been launched.
Absolutely.
Iraqi journalist throwing a shoe at, as my father calls him, Killer Bush, is something that the average studio is not going to back and give me a release that is worthy. Hi, I'm Pooja Bhatt and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.com. Keep watching.
Movie is releasing on August 3rd and maybe the promotions शायद उतने सामने नहीं आ पा रहे हैं. Even Sunny Leon उनकी पहली picture है.
No, we've
and even
decided
she has
that.
not been
We've
seen
decided
so far.
that because see, I did not want to start promotions जब तक मेरी CC मेरे हाथ में नहीं आई, जब तक मुझे censor certificate नहीं officially मिले. How could I announce my release date? 3rd August was the date that we had, but I was very clear that if the censor had butchered my film, I would not have released on 3rd of August. I would have then gone ahead. Then if I had started my dialogue promos on television, I would have to keep my campaign on for those many weeks more. I'm a modest budget film. It might seem like a big film for whatever reason, but I am not somebody who has got a 30 crore or a 15 crore or a 20 crore media spend. So I had to keep that in mind. The day I got my CC in my hand, we broke the promo the next day on the internet. It was out to all the channels on Friday. It's broken on Monday. It's all over. We've saturated the market now. So by Saturday, my campaign is going to peak, which is the 28th, which is perfectly in time for August 3rd because people have got very short attention spans nowadays.
Right.
You start, and let's be honest here, Jism 2 has been spoken about necessarily and unnecessarily ever since it's been launched.
Absolutely.
So we've got our share of publicity. Thank you very much, everybody. So I would just write the right stuff to come out now at the right time because if not, there's too much. I mean, you've got other films releasing. You've got Ekta Tiger coming out, which is a big release, which everyone's looking forward to. I am most certainly looking forward to that because I mean, it's been shot in one of my dream destinations called Cuba. And I think Kabir always picks some magical locations.
Right.
So I'm dying to see that. And because I'm a production designer myself, for me, where the film is set is always of prime importance because that is a character. Sri Lanka is a character in Jism 2.
I think even Kajrare में आपने जिस तरीके से shooting आपने किया था.
I thought Kajrare was beautifully shot. Unfortunately, nobody saw the film. It didn't release. But to be fair to my Kajrare, Jordan looked immaculate. In fact, if I had to do it all over again,
the songs were immensely popular.
Yeah, they were, and they looked like $1 million, you know. So, and I can say that with a great degree of pride. So.
You've also said that Jism 3 you'll be doing in 3D and you'd like to have Imran Hashmi in it.
Well, Jism 3 I am launching when I release Jism 2 and I plan to make it and release it in 2013. I have not even approached anybody, let alone Imran, but a name that came to me was Imran for the simple reason because I have not worked with him so far as a director or a producer. We don't in this family take each other for granted and show any interest beyond a point in working with each other unless the product is worthy enough.
Sure.
But it's a name that came to my mind. I don't even know whether he's interested in doing anything more in the Jism or the murder brand. But I would like to most certainly look at the idea of casting him in one of the roles because the stakes have gotten bigger and we had 2 people in Jism, we had 3 in Jism 2, we're going to have 4 in Jism 3.
And you also said that you like to make one Jism film every year.
I would like to, yes, because I believe that as long as people fall in love, their hearts are going to be broken and we're going to have great stories to be able to portray on the Indian screen and films that are not dumbed down and are kind of dealing with human emotions as we feel them and experience them in the real world, not in a Hindi film isolated reality that most films unfortunately get saturated in.
In fact, आपने ये भी कहा है कि it's an adult film for adult sensibilities. Okay, now you're talking about Jism's the entire franchise and all, but at the same time, you've been part of like a film like Dil Hai Ki Mantani, which is I think one of the ultimate romantic films.
Yeah.
So when will you have plans of remaking Dil Hai Ki Mantani?
No, I don't have plans of remaking Dil Hai Ki Mantani. I have dreams of remaking Dil Hai Ki Mantani. There's a huge difference in a plan and a dream.
Right.
Though they say a plan is, you know, you first give birth to a plan when you dream it. But I think that if Dil Hai Ki Mantani had to be made in this day and age, I think Ranbir Kapoor, who I think is absolutely fabulous, would be a more than worthy successor to Aamir Khan because he would bring to it the same effortlessness, he would bring to it the same amount of charm and as well as a certain amount of humor That's an intelligent humor, which is what Aamir brought to Dil Hai Ke Manta Nahi.
Right.
And I think that Alia is a better version of me.
Right, you've
and I
said
think
that.
Alia and Ranbir would be a delightful combination.
Right.
But I must say that while that's a delightful combination made in heaven or whatever you might want to, wherever you want to call it,
Right.
Dil Hai Ke Manta Nahi is not an easy act to follow.
Right. But maybe a sequel to it, in a way?
Who knows? Who knows?
With new
if
actors.
Alia and Ranbir are listening, and so is my father because he'll have to write it,
Right.
then maybe we'll have a film soon.
Fantastic. And you also said that you'd like to act once again once you have a hit as far as your production
Well,
is
I've never
concerned.
stopped acting, but like I said, like like you said, it's been difficult for you to pin me down to this interview, because for me to be pinned down to this interview, I have to at least attempt to open up my hair and attempt to at least look slightly presentable, though I know I don't look my best right now. But to act, you need to be able to then focus on yourself a little
Ji.
bit, because you owe that to your maker, you owe that to your audience. And my focus has been outside myself. It's been on my films, it's been on my product, it's been on my actors. I've been waiting for that one elusive hit, because I do know I won my national awards, I've got my critical acclaim. I want the gratification of knowing that a film I have directed has made everyone in the food chain money, because that will allow me to make my next choices with a lot more elan, with a lot more freedom. At this point, I had nothing to lose. And when you have nothing to lose, you're in the best position, really. And it's wonderful for us, because I can say this on camera, something that people generally hide. We made Jism for a budget of 7 crores of rupees. You know, we sold it for all India and overseas for 15. And I think that that in itself is quite groundbreaking. So I think when you have a look like this, with that kind of budget, without compromising on pay scales, without compromising on other things, technically, I shot on film, by the way, something that's largely unheard of in this day and age. People say digital, digital, digital. I said no. I want to make my film on film. I'm slightly old-fashioned in that regard. So I think that eventually, Bombay is sold for a record price of 8.28.
8.28 crores.
Yes. So that gives you your numbers itself. And I think that obviously this is my cost of my film, which is without my P&A. P&A, we are not holding back. We're doing a wonderful campaign. Our hoardings have already gone up. My first hoarding ironically
Same
went up.
place as
Same
Jism.
spot where I saw my Jism hoarding go up.
Right.
And that went up, Marine Drive. So we are hitting everywhere. So you'll see me all over the place. You'll see my film all over the place. And yes, you will see Sunny all over the place as well, because I'm certain she's dying to come back and hear this applause, not through the internet or not through a tweet, but directly. And it's a sensational debut. And I think that why would she not want her place in the sun?
Absolutely. You've also said, I intend to make films that are anything but safe.
Yes, I said that to
You're
my
making a
friend
film-
Rama, in fact, online, because we were talking about something, and I said that yes, I do not wish to I want to be the outsider. I want to live my life on that edge. I'm not interested in being an insider. I'm going to finish this movie. I'm going to run away to my farm. I'm going to immerse myself under my waterfall. I'm going to travel the world.
Plant trees as well.
I'm going to plant my trees, and I'm going to listen to my Etta Jones and to my Edith Piaf, and listen to my kind of, music that makes me cut off from this world, and then find a new location to fall in love with, find a new story to fall in love with, and then bring that forward to the audience like a gift I give them. And then they are free to reject that gift. But I have to give them what I love. I can't give them what you're telling me that I should tell them to love. I can't give them what the market is dictating to me. And I do believe, and it might seem arrogant, but Jism was a game changer in more ways than one. Jism 2 is most certainly going to join Jism in being a game changer.
Inshallah, inshallah.
That's what I believe.
Also planning to produce a film on the Iraqi journalist who had thrown a
Yes, I
shoe
wanted to
on,
make a film on the
George
incident,
Bush.
and it was a film that we wanted to make not only targeting an Indian audience and an Indian market. We wanted to make a film that was actually going to have a cast that was primarily from there, handpick a director that came from that region, and make it in a language with subtitles for a market wherever it went to.
Ji.
But that's a tricky project, because most people don't want to back it. Everybody is frightened of kind of taking on America, especially in the world of entertainment. And a film about a man, an unknown Iraqi journalist throwing a shoe at, as my father calls him, Killer Bush, is something that the average studio is not going to back and give me a release that is worthy. So we are working around that. That project is there on the back burner. It's on the anvil, and it's something that I'm committed to. But the hows, whys, and whens is something that I can't commit right now.
Last question. Recently, there was a movie, and उसमें एक mantra था कि that cinema is all about entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. So, आपका what is your take on it?
Well, entertainment is most certainly part of my cinema as well, but I disagree with the second part of the line that they normally add to that line, which is leave your brains at the door. And I would say that if you want to leave your brains at the door and your soul at the door, then don't watch my movies. But I would like to engage with people who make my mind tick. I would like to engage with a body of work, whether it's a book or art or film that makes my mind tick. And I would like to believe that I make the kind of cinema that makes your mind tick as well.
Fantastic. That was Pooja Bhatt in a wonderful interview with Bollywood Hungama. Patience, I think, बहुत उसके कुछ फायदे होते हैं. So we patiently waited for this interview, and I think we have been fully rewarded. So thank you very much for your time, and we're looking forward to Jason 2 and all your future ventures. Personally, I'm looking forward to your acting whenever you start doing that.
After this, I will go and run up my hill at my farm and kind of become svelte and then be in front of the camera.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dabbu Ratnani photo shoot and everything.
Dabbu Ratnani has covered up a lot of my sin. In fact, the best pictures Dabbu Ratnani shot of mine was when I was at my largest.
Right.
So I think when you are at your largest, then you have to conceal that. So I think you get innovative when you don't have the resources, which is what I do with my films as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much and all the best wishes.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.